Here's what happens to a lot of players, especially beginners, okay? You start learning songs you love, right? Maybe Smoke on the Water, Hotel California, Neon, Tennessee Whiskey, Purple Rain, whatever fits your vibe, right? You learn them, you feel good, and people say, yo, that sounds nice. But here's the problem. You're memorizing what to play, and you're not internalizing or understanding why it works. So yeah, you know the chord shapes, and you might even know a few cool licks, but when someone says, hey, let's jam this in another key, or let's improvise over this progression, you freeze because you don't understand what's happening behind those chords. I've been there. You're in a session, bass players vibing, keyboardists calls. Let's take it up half a step, and you're like, you begin to panic. And that's when you realize you can play songs, but you can't play music. There came a point where I said, that's enough. I'm tired of memorizing. I didn't want to keep depending on tutorials or tabs. I wanted to be able to hear something, understand it, and make it my own. So I finally humbled myself. You gotta humble yourself, and decided to learn music theory and the number system. And when I did, everything changed. When I learned what a 1-4-5 progression was, it was like someone unlocked the matrix for me. I mean, because suddenly I could hear the same thing in the songs that I had been playing. Blues, pop, rock, country, R&B, they're all built on the same framework. I started recognizing that the 2 minor and the 6 minor weren't just random chords. They had a purpose. That the 5 pulls you home, that notes have relationships, that progressions mean something, okay? That's when I realized music theory isn't just about rules, it's about understanding how everything connects. And once you see those connections, you stop being limited by what is memorized or only what you can learn, okay? You can finally begin to create. I mean, everybody wants that sauce, right? That thing that makes your playing sound full, the thing that makes your playing sound like it's got feeling, emotional, unique. It makes it soulful. You hear guitars bend a note or play a chord, and that gives you chills, and you go, what is that? Let me tell you, it's not just gear, it's understanding. When you know theory, you can make the simplest song and make it sound fresh. You can flip it, substitute chords, change the groove, reharmonize, and it still works. Let me give you an example. Take Let It Be by the Beatles, right? Simple chords, a C, a G, a A minor, and an F. That's a 1-5-6-4 progression. Now, once you recognize that, you start hearing it everywhere. Someone Like You by Adele, With or Without You by U2, No One, Alicia Keys, Don't Stop Believing by Journey, all built on the same foundation. And when you know that, and you can start adding passing chords and different voices that fit naturally because you understand why they work, that's what gives you that sauce. Yeah, you can add flavor to something you don't understand. Here's what music theory really gives you. It gives you freedom. It does. I'm trying to tell you, you're not going to be in a box. You're not going to be boxed in by memorization. You can walk into a jam session, and when someone call out, it's a 6-4-1-5 in G, you already know where to go. You don't need tabs. You don't need guesswork. You know. It makes playing with others easy. It makes songwriting natural, and it makes improvising fun instead of stressful, okay? I know people who say theory kills creativity. No, it fuels it, okay? Because you know the rules, you can break them on purpose. You can bend notes, alter chords, and stretch the boundaries, and it sounds musical instead of like nonsense, okay? Think of your favorite players. John Mayer, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Prince, Mateus Asado, Eric Johnson, they all know theory. I promise, they all know theory. They might not talk about it, but it's built into their fingers. That's how they move around the fretboard so effortlessly. They're not guessing. So listen, keep learning songs. I'm not telling you to stop learning songs. That's how you fall in love with music. But as you learn them, identify what you're playing, okay? Find the key, figure out the scale, write down the number progression. If you learn just one song a week, but understand the theory behind it, you'll grow faster than someone who learns 10 songs blindly, okay? Because now, when you play that same song again, you can change the rhythm, alter the chord, add some passing tones, flip the groove, and suddenly it's you. That's growth, baby. That's That's mastery. Don't make the mistake that I did. Don't let 10 years pass before you learn what you're actually playing. Learn theory. Learn the number system. Learn how chords are built, how scales connect, how tension, release, and shape emotion. Because once you understand though, you can play anything you want. And that's when you stop chasing other people's sound and start creating your own. So yeah, it's the truth, okay? This is the truth. And if you're serious about being more than just a player, start learning the language of music, become a musician, and thank yourself later. Let's keep it real. Most of y'all learning guitar are chasing songs, not understanding. And that's the trap. I'm not saying this to discourage you. I'm saying this because I lived it. For almost 10 years, I played songs, licks, riffs, runs, and I thought I was growing, but I wasn't. I was getting faster, not better. And there's a difference. So if you really want to be a musician, not just a player, I'm about to give you the harsh truth that most people avoid. You cannot grow as a musician without learning music theory. Now, I know somebody already got defensive. Oh, I don't need the theory to play. Yeah, you can get by without it. You can. But that's all you'll ever do is just get by. Here's the truth. The ones who talk down on theory are usually the ones who don't understand it. They'll say, I play by ear. Cool, but the theory strengthens your ear. It doesn't replace it. You can't truly play with a band, flow through key changes, or communicate musically if you don't understand the language of music. And that's what theory is. It's a language. It's how to talk to drummers, bassists, keyboard players, organists. It's how you understand why a chord works the way it works and not just what a chord is. Let me tell you something personal, okay? For years, I was stuck. you mess around and change keys on me, I ain't know what to do. Or if the singer start off in another place and you gotta back them, hold on, this ain't what we rehearsed here. But when someone called a number, I'd be lost. When a keyboard player said, we're walking from the 2 to the 5, I'd just be like, what do that even mean? It was a whole nother language to me because they were speaking another language. I was a musician with no growth. My fingers got better, but my understanding didn't. And that's the most dangerous kind of stagnation to be in. But once I took the time to really learn scales, intervals, harmony, the number system, everything began to change. I didn't have to copy anymore. I didn't have to memorize because I had eternalized. I could create and make things my own. And once you understand how music works, you can play anything you want to. Anything. If you're serious about learning, I'm telling you, music theory is the key that unlocks your freedom. Without it, you'll be a slave to tabs and tutorials. With it, you'll be free to play anything by ear. Think about this. The Nashville number system is how professionals talk on stage. It's how the best musicians can go from key to key, live, on the fly, without hesitation. You don't have to memorize every chord and every key. You just need to understand the patterns. If you learn the major scale, the minor scale, and the chord functions within a key, you'll see that all songs are just different combinations of the same puzzle pieces. That's why some players sound like magic, because they're not guessing. They understand. They know exactly what to do. I'm begging you, don't waste years like I did, okay? Don't keep saying one day I'll learn theory. That's the difference between being a player and being a musician. Every real musician I know, every professional session player, church band leader, or they all understand theory. Even if they can't explain it in words, they know it by feel because they've studied it, okay? Here's a hard pill. If you've been playing for years and still can't tell what key you're in, you're not improving. You're just repeating, and you probably got some talent. You've probably got some skill, but you've gotten to a point where you're not growing anymore. And repetition without understanding, that's just frustrating. So take the time, learn it, apply it. Don't just play the songs, study them, okay? Why does this chord work here? What's the relation between these notes? That's how you grow. If you made it this far, I'm challenging you. This is the year to stop playing blind. Get serious about theory. Learn the number system. Understand scale degrees. Stop guessing and start knowing. Because once you understand how music works, you'll never have to chase someone else's sound again. You'll be able to build and create your own. So yeah, this video might sting a little bit, okay? But the truth usually does, don't it? I mean, because the truth is what makes you free. Comment. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Let's talk. Let's grow. Let's learn. Let's make musicianship great again. All right, fade out.